No, it's not turning. Does that turn that way when I push it? Nope. I'm stuck. I'll take that out because I can. And this should slide out. If I did that and managed to get that one free from under there, it's like I need to push that one up and get that one out. There must be a way to get this thing out. Is it just that one? It can't be just one 13mm nut bolt. There's got to be another one. That would be too easy. I suppose the challenge is trying to get something on it to get it out. What if I move it? Nope. It's not going to play that way. So if I move it... Nope, come on, line up. Nope. Ah. Okay, that's disgusting now. Ah! Yeah. This gearbox is dead. There's another bit of tooth. And I don't think that is meant to be jammed in there. And that could very well be what I said a couple of videos ago about it just locking up. That has been machined by maybe this. Yeah, that's been machined by this, because that's that one that goes all the way through there. That shouldn't be there. I'm trying to dig that out. Okay. Looks like that's not coming out. It's wiggling, but that might be the lock up and the smash teeth random stop. Does that come out? I wonder, because I'm a wonderer. That looks like found something. That looks like a bolt goes in there and it gets slide hammered out and smashed back in. Then it will release this. Ah! Bag of bolts, box of bolts. Nope. 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 What size is it? Is it this size? No, it's not. I wonder if it's this size. Probably not. I found you. Right. That's a 5mm. So the Allen key drawer, 5mm. No, it's not, I'm lying. It's a 6. There we go. Now, let's see how well the yeehaw method works. Not very well so far. Gear fell on the floor. Slide hammer, and I've cut the end of the bolt down to try and screw it in a little bit further. And yes, before people start laughing, this is a homemade slide hammer. I did make this myself. I did make it myself back in 2010 when I did my machining course for work. And to be honest, to buy something like this, you can buy a really cheap one for 30 quid, or you can go to Mac and buy it for 200, or Snap-on for a lot more. This has got me out of trouble quite a few times, and hopefully it will get me out of trouble this time. So let's see. Whatever it did, it pulled that clean out. Now that made it look really easy. That's, there we go. Aha! More gloves. Come on. There we go. Now I wonder if... Ah, there we go. Gotcha. Now if I move that way, oh no, hang on. I need some grips. Ah, pin removed. That's going to make a really nice punch for something. Don't be afraid of... Aha, hello. There's a little spring down there from something. Let's pile that there. Hello 13. I'll use a straight one. Removed. That's quite a novel idea. Bolts. So that's reverse, possibly covered in bits. That's something else that just fell down. I'll move that. Move that over. That over. This over this way. Now these don't look like they want to come out. I wonder what's on this side. That's a broken bearing. That is a bearing race. Now, I don't know how this is meant to come out. Is it a swift whack? That is a bearing race that's shattered into multiple. Ugh, the stink. That's another bearing job. Shall we try and persuade it? Yes, that has moved. We have movement from one and the other. So it just took some gentle persuasion and some jiggly bits. Oh, hang on. My fork's got stuck. That's a selector fork job. Ha! Well, that's all intact as such. That's not really abused. This, is the reverse idler, which was attached with, I'm assuming, that longer bolt there, down in there. There we go, more spare bits. And that's another forky thing. And there we have it. The broken up bearing on the second motion shaft. Yes, there we go. That is, oh, that's a reverse selector job. More machined parts. This casing is finished. This casing is never. Maybe this half might go back with something. That half won't. that is I'm going to make that come out. That's coming out now. Oh, hang on, how do we get the little ooby doodles? I wonder if I undo that. That might work. 6mm. Where have I put my 6mm Allen key? There. Yep. There we go. That and that went on there with said bolt. More of a pile. Ew. I'm disgusting. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. That is dead. That has chunks missing. There we go. Now this is the damage that was caused by this car being driven super careful after the failure for 36.2 miles. That is it. This is the damage after 36.2 miles. So if you do have a gear failure and think I can get home, this is what's going to happen. So expect a bill that is according to this damage, and don't think, oh, it was only 30 miles home, it can't have done that much damage. Well, there is teeth broken, there's teeth broken, it's machined that casing. I don't know where you'd start and stop with replacing things. There you go. That one spins. First to second. Now first spins. Very easy. Third, fourth and fifth is over here. Just to confuse you. Oh, this is disgusting. Oh, expect gloves to rip. With these filings, they just act like little razor blades. So expect your gloves to rip open. You will feel sharp, pointy things stabbing you. That's not fun. Well, I've just cleared everything up and I'm just stood here aimlessly looking and sort of daydreaming a bit, and I noticed something very odd. And I've stood here on my phone and gone back through some videos. At the time of me making this, it hasn't aired yet, but I went back to the video where I show the internals of my race car and how the teeth are broken on that. And it looks very different to this one, in the fact of when I was taking this apart, I grabbed the secondary shaft and there was a lot of play on it. It would move up and down more than I thought it should have done at the time. And it turns out there was a bearing that had broken. I've shown the race, and it had just shattered. Well, I think that was the reason that this gear failed, because if you come and look at this, turn this round to a good point. Now on this, however we can see it with the glare on the table, this appears to have predominantly teeth this side, sort of full size, all the way around. Yeah, okay, you've got some parts here and here that are raised, but on this left side, next to the final drive for the crown wheel, especially here, you can see that there are teeth up the edge. Now, this is the other side of the fourth gear. Come on, stand up. And, well, hey, that's got teeth standing up on the side. So I'm just stood here looking, and if you put these two together as they should be, because it can't go that way, purely and simply because that's the selector hub would fail on the final drive, so it must go that way, which makes sense because there's a gap here where you'll have the fork and the selector, and the other gears this way. Well, looking at them, there's a big gap in the middle, and if it was so to happen that this shaft, this one, has shifted and say moved that way, then it doesn't take much. But if it's done that and shifted over, you're now only running on 75% of the teeth. That could cause it to break. And the other validation I have for this is this. Quite a few teeth missing from the final drive. And when you look in the gearbox, I'll just place them together. If I just lift that off, it's in here. That there is where that part of final drive sits. Now, that is still unknown. I have no idea what that is yet, but I will get it out and I will show you. But it's almost like the shaft here, obviously should sit up. The bearing has failed and this has dropped. And as you can see by chew marks, that's what I'm thinking. It looks like a bearing has failed and it broke up but held itself there. Well, as you accelerate, because it's helical cut, the gears try to wind off of each other. So where they're cut diagonally, if it's turning this way, it's trying to push this one out. If the bearing's good on pushing this one out, it's going to push the other one that way. So if it's done this and run on 75% of its tooth width, it's going to fail. And it just so happened that fourth was the one. No idea why. I had explained to me by someone who is very good with gearboxes that teeth don't just tend to fail. You have a shock load and it will crack, put a very slight crack in the tooth, and you might never ever notice it. But if you get the same shock load on that same tooth, it's going to snap the tooth off. Now you've got enough inertia for it to hit the next one and snap that off, and it will continue on. So that's possibly what's happened, or it could be that Volkswagen designed this that it needs 100% of the gear width for the torque. Not that it's got much, but then again they're not very wide. So it could be that it's just overpowered it. Could be that there was a shock crack in it. Either's possible. And I don't know. But hey, we've got to the bottom of why it's failed. A bearing failed. I had no abnormal noises before this went. It's very odd for a bearing to fail and you not hear it. I don't know if I didn't hear it because it was just quiet and a 20-year-old diesel isn't, or there was genuinely no noise. But that's what I think's happened. I might be right, I might be wrong, but looking at gearboxes that have failed previously, that, yeah, I've done, this is what appears to have happened. So, for an 085 gearbox in a 1997 1.9 diesel polo, engine code AEF, I think the gearbox code is DCH, this appears to be what's happened. Now, if a bearing's failed after this time, hey, it's done well. Even if I had to pay proper money, £575 I believe a recon gearbox was, plus £150 surcharge that they will refund you when they find your gearbox is serviceable. This doesn't count as serviceable. This counts as wrecked. So I wouldn't get that back. So that makes a grand total £725 just for another gearbox. After 180,000 miles, 750 quid for a gearbox. Hey, I've had my money's worth. I really have had my money's worth. I got away lightly with this one. A car come up at the right time for the rightish money, and hopefully a decent gearbox has come out of it. But 36 miles is all that did with a broken cog. And the amount of debris and damage that has come out of it is considerable. If you do hear a noise, get it checked out. And that's not by, you know, just anyone. Take it to a gearbox place. Take it somewhere. Get a professional to look at it. You know, it's not difficult. Most people will look at it for free, or if it's not free, it might be 10 quid just for their time a drink. It might save you having to do an expensive repair. If you can get away with a bearing or a rebuild, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than having to put another gearbox in it. Just a word of warning. These things happen. You can't avoid them. But if you do get some warning, just get it checked out. I can't say any more.